Hey guys, before the video starts I have a small announcement. I'm now partnered with Yes Style, which sells Korean clothing and beauty. So if you're looking for some chic clothes for a cheap price, I suggest heading over to their website and using my discount code JBB98J for up to 5% off your order. Link will be in the description, and now onto the video. The Soviet Union 1917 to 1964. Key events of World War II. The Nazi-Soviet Pact 1939 to 1941. Stalin was concerned about a Nazi invasion and wanted to avoid war. He tried to create an alliance with the UK but was denied. He soon realized that war was inevitable and so formed a pact with Germany, which allowed him to give time to prepare. Germany gave the Soviet Union machinery and USSR gave natural resources such as timber and wheat back. However, many communists were dissatisfied with the pact, as Nazis were against Soviet principles. Operation Barbarossa, June 1941. This was the largest invasion to date. 80% of the German army invaded, and 5 million Russians were deployed with 23,000 tanks, but they were still unprepared. The Germans advanced and onslaught carried on into July. Instead of capturing Moscow, they captured Kiev. 650,000 troops were killed, and the Nazis laid siege for 890 days. The Siege of Leningrad, September 1941 to January 1944. Germany attacks the Soviet Union. Finnish forces take the north of Leningrad while Germany takes the south. They prevent supplies from reaching the defenders. A council of deputies of the Leningrad administration organized a response group of 3 million civilians. Several lines of defense were built along the perimeter, and the city did not fall into Nazi hands. The Battle for Moscow, October 1941 to January 1942. On the 2nd of October, the Nazis unleashed Operation Typhoon and captured 600,000 Russian soldiers. However, it was quagmire season, and thus bad weather temporarily stopped the Nazis. This allowed the Soviets to bring more reinforcements. On 2nd of December, the Nazis were within 5 miles, but 3 days later, the Soviets launched a counter-offensive, and this pushed back the Nazis 150 miles away from Moscow. The Siege of Stalingrad, August 1942 to February 1943. Beginning on the 19th of August 1942, the Germans were forced to retreat. The Red Army had fought from under the city with heavy shell fire. On the 19th of November, 3 Soviet armies attacked from outside the city. The Soviets encircled the city and entrapped 300 Nazi soldiers. It was a bloody battle with 2 million casualties, military and civilian. The Fall of Berlin, 1945. The Red Army outnumbered the Nazis in men and equipment. There were 45,000 Berlin defenders, which were mostly children or pensioners. Zhukov knew exactly the difficulty of taking over the city and still pushed through. Unfortunately, there was a lot of unnecessary losses for the Red Army.